Today we will continue for third sem diploma electrical students, and the subject is electrical engineering material. We have discussed in our last class about the insulating material. Today we will discuss about its mechanical properties and the parameters which affect the quality or the insulating materials depends upon. So we have heat resistance, because heat is a important factor which deteriorates the insulating material. So we have to be very much careful while using a insulating material, and it should be also considered that the temperature should not increase to its value, after which it will stop behaving like an insulator. So students, this is a property which desires that the dielectric should withstand temperature variation with desirable limits. So it should also do not damage the insulating material or its important properties. If the insulator has favorable properties at ambient temperature, but it is not able to retain these properties at to desirable extent at higher temperature, but is not able to retain these properties at desirable extent of higher temperature up to which it has to operate, so it is not a good insulator. So if it is not able to return back to its original property after the application of a particular range of temperature, then the insulating material is not desirable. But if the insulator which is capable of withstanding higher temperature without deterioration of its properties can be used for operation for such higher temperatures. So there are insulators which can tolerate or which can withstand the temperature and can retain their uh, insulating properties after they are brought to their original temperature. So that suggests us the current loading can be increased, thus making the apparatus capable of handling more power. This is Faber's economy. So we all know that when a electrical equipment, uh, it is I mean it consumes current, so it is associated with heat. So if it is associated with heat, the insulating material which is associated with the apparatus or equipment will get heated up. So the proper knowledge of current, and therefore the amount of heat produced should make us aware that what is the safe value of current which we will use, so as to keep the limit of heat within control. Now student, we will discuss classification of insulating material on the basis of operating temperature. So there are various ranges of or you can say operating temperatures are there. You might be thinking that how, right? So it is very obvious, because in our room or in our house the temperature may be well defined, or it may be have some certain limits, but in industries and in outside our domestic uses, we have variation of this temperature. For example, if you are aware of coal mines, if you are aware of chemical laboratories, if you are aware of this hotels where a huge amount of heat is liberated, so at that areas or at those areas the amount of heat produced is very high. So accordingly we need suitable insulating material so as to withstand its temperature. So let us read about its classification of insulating material on the basis of operating temperature. In the view of important part played by the thermal properties mentioned above, it is obvious why the classification of dielectrics is made on the basis of operating temperature. Now, effect of temperature increase on life of insulator. So how the temperature rise or decrease will affect the life of the insulator, because every material, whether it can be a conductor, insulator or semiconductor, it has some lifespan. So our insulator also have a particular lifespan. There is always some recommended operating temperature for an insulator, so we cannot go beyond that temperature, otherwise it will fail to work satisfactorily and will cause failure to our equipment or the motorized equipments. So these are its consequences. The operating temperature has a bearing on the life of the concerned apparatus. The thumb rule suggested by many experts is that life of the insulation is halved for each 8 to 10 degree centigrade rise above the recommended operating temperature for a given apparatus. So if the temperature is now increased to 8 to 10 degrees centigrade, then the life will be reduced to half. Now students, this completes your mechanical properties. Today we will start your chemical properties. Inside your chemical properties, we have the presence of your chemical resistances, presence of gases, water, acids, alkalis and salts affects different insulators. So you might have seen this capacitor bank. You might have heard only. There are capacitor bank which are used to control or monitor the power factor. So these things are required in your higher semesters, but for the time being, you just have to remember, by the use of capacitor bank we can control the power factor. There are also battery banks, student, likewise. So what is the use of battery bank? For uninterrupted power supply, we use battery bank. So at those places, the chemicals evolved in those rooms are very high, and this makes them toxic also. So if there is some electrical wiring which is exposed to the environment of this you can say battery room, right? So what will happen? It will simply deteriorate its insulation resistance. So here we have as the text suggests you, the presence of gas, the presence of water, the presence of acid, alkali and salts affect the different insulators. So chemically a material is a better insulator if it is resist to chemical action. If a substance or if a insulator can withstand this your chemical action, then it is a better insulator. So certain plastics are found approaching this condition. So we can found some plastics which can bear this kind of you can say this kind of environment, like your acidic environment, your alkalis environment, salt like environment, also the moisture or your water like environment. Now students, so there is a consequent, their use is very much on the increase. Plastic have replaced paper insulation in many applications because the former being chemically inert and groscopic. What is groscopic? So groscopic, it's again the property of a material by which it can absorb moisture, and the that was hygroscopic, and groscopic is the property by which it cannot absorb the moisture. So however, chemical resistance required of insulators used in underground cable, which is likely to operate under severe chemical condition due to water, salt, acid or alkalis, will be more demanding on those of the insulation used in motor winding. So in a motor winding, the temperature and the condition is quite suitable, but inside or your underground cables this thing worsens, and if it worsens, the pressure will be directly on the cable. Now students, this cable is not a thin one, it carries huge amount of voltage in terms of kV. So the diameter of this cable is also high, very large. So if this under this condition, the condition under this condition, if it is treated with chemically or you can say alkali based your environment is created, or if it is acidic in nature, then what will happen? The cable may break down, and consequently what will happen? We will have to face a breakdown or there will be an interruption in the power supply. So now students, further what we have here, in high voltage insulation, ozone resistance assumes great importance because of richness of ozone in the surrounding atmosphere produced by the ionization of air. So for high voltage installation, ozone resistance is important. So ozone resistance assumes great importance because of richness of ozone in the surrounding atmosphere produced by the ionization of the air. Now students, we will discuss about the classification of insulating material on the basis of thermal stability in service. So there are some materials given in this table. So there are different classes of insulator. So they can be classified as Y, formerly O. Earlier they were known as O type or class O. Now they are known as Y class or class Y. So the maximum temperature or working temperature here is 90 degree, and the metal or combination of material used for this kind of insulator is cotton, silk, paper, pressboard, wood, PVC, with or without plasticizer, vulcanized natural rubber. So vulcanized natural rubber is also another resource which is used for your insulating material, which is for class Y. You have to remember these classes, mind you students. Now the other classes are A, E, B and F, as well as your H and C. Now we will discuss about A. The working temperature of class A is 105 degree. Its combination of material is cotton, silk, paper, when impregnated or immersed in oil dielectric such as oil. Now class E is a insulation which can withstand a temperature or a working temperature of 120 degree centigrade. So the material possessing a high degree of thermal stability, allowing them to be operated at temperature 15 degree higher than class A material. So this can allow 15 degree higher temperature than your class A material. Similarly student, B have 130 degree centigrade, F have 155 degree centigrade, as well as C is having 180 degree centigrade, and class C type of insulation will provide you 180 degree centigrade, and the material used are correspondingly written. So by the knowledge of the temperature or the environment which you are you require, you can suitably select a type of insulation. Suppose student, for example, let me ask you that if a environment, while you become professional, while you complete your diploma courses, you have joined a job, and there in an organization you have to provide an insulation where the working temperature is 170, suppose 170 degree centigrade. Which kind of insulation will you select? Obviously from the table it is clear that you will select H or C, because the working temperature is 170. So I cannot go for F, because 1F will provide me only 155. So I have to go beyond. So I will select simply H or C, considering the temperature variation or fluctuation is within limits to 1 or 2%. So here we will decide after having the knowledge of the classes of your insulation. Accordingly we will select. If the working temperature is below, suppose it is having 40 to 50, I can use class Y insulation. So by this use and this proper knowledge of the material, we can use or manufacture this insulating materials. Now student, hygroscopicity. So many insulators come in contact with atmosphere during their manufacture or operation, or both. The contact of insulation with atmosphere is often so complete that even the less chemically aggressive atmosphere can prove a threat to a smooth running apparatus. Moisture due to high humidity atmosphere can affect insulator in two ways. So due to moisture, it can affect in two ways. What are the ways? It acts as a surface of insulation. It may be absorbed by the insulation. So if the insulating material is made up of hygroscopic material, it will have the tendency to absorb moisture. As a result, what will happen? It or its lifespan will be shortened or reduced. So the insulating materials like paraffin, polythene, polytetrafluoroethylene, which is shortly abbreviated as PTFE, which are non-hygroscopic, are to be replaced with this hygroscopic material, so that the insulating material will be non-hygroscopic. Now, effect of contact with other material. So insulation remains invariably in contact with different type of material like gas, air, moisture, conable in contact with different types of material and structural material. Unlike gases and moisture whose effect on insulation has already been considered, the conducting and structural materials have little effect due to contact with insulation. There are some cases, for example, that of rubber in contact with copper, where chemical action take place. So if a copper is contacted with rubber, there is a chemical action which takes place. To avoid this chemical action, a coating of tin is applied to copper before putting on the rubber insulation. So students, you should remember, if rubber is directly contacted with copper, what will happen? There will be a chemical action. So how to avoid it? So by putting a coating over this copper made up of tin, we can avoid such kind of reaction. So ionization can come. Ionization also comes in contact with structural material. For example, in an oil-filled capacitor, the capacitor using synthetic insulating oil, the oil reacts with inner wall of the tank, causing iron particles to mix with oil. This can adversely affect the insulation properties of the oil. So this is about your chemical properties. Now, aging. Student, aging is long time effect of anything which will be used for longer period of time will show you aging effect. Now, the aging affects the parameters here are heat, chemical action and voltage application. So these are consideration due to electrical point of view. So if heat is associated with your insulating material, then its insulating material, the life of the insulating material will be decreased. So as with your chemical action, if there is some chemical action going on and we have not noticed or we have not taken any steps to control it, then what will happen? It will also deteriorate its insulating properties. We have just a few minutes earlier we have discussed how this rubber and copper when contact together can cause chemical action. Similar actions are there, so we should try to avoid those kind of chemical action. Lastly, the voltage application. If the voltage application is also very high, then the insulating material properties can be weakened. So we should use the voltage to the desirable limits only. Now students, we have insulating material, classification, properties and application. So these things we will discuss in our next classes. You go through these notes, try to understand which I have taught you in today's class. So we will continue in our next class, students. Thank you.